Hello, good morning. Good morning and welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. All those of you that are, wow, apparently we're working with a lot of power this morning. Yay, I love that. Glad you're here. Glad those of you online are here this morning on this wonderful first Sunday of February. Welcome to, in the Irish tradition, spring starts on Imbolc, which is the 1st of February. So here we are into this opening of spring, and we can already see things starting to pop up. This tulip tree out here is blooming like mad already. So you have found yourselves in the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, which is a place where we want to do two things. We want to deepen our relationship with spirit, and through that, of course, with each other and all people everywhere. And we want to open and be aware of what are the beliefs that are driving our lives. And so we have this atmosphere to learn that in and to pursue those things with love. This morning is an opportunity, first of all, to welcome each other. So please stand up, walk around, greet one another, say hello, introduce yourselves, wish each other well. And those of you at home, please put your arms around yourself and welcome yourself this morning into this wonderful morning celebration. In just a moment, we'll begin to sing. All right. All right. I invite you to come on back as we prepare for our singing this morning. Now, there aren't too many of you yet, so you're going to have to really sing out this morning. Fortunately, our musician this morning is Daniel Nahmad, and his songs are always easy to sing along with. So Daniel Nahmad is somebody that's done music for us periodically over the last 2 years, always sending in his videos, and we always love him. He has performed his music for over 1 million people in 45 states and Canada since 1999, selling 110,000 CDs. And his songs have been recorded and performed all over the world, including on Saturday Night Live, The Voice, American Idol, the Super Bowl, and the Today Show. So this is Daniel Nahmad. Please stand and join us in singing I'm Reaching Out, his opening song this morning.
Good morning, Golden Gate. It's Daniel Nahmad, all the way down south in Orange County. I hope you're staying warm and dry. You ready to sing a song with me to start this morning? Here we go. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going
to feel the infinite.
Yet forever is already. I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already. I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. Last time. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Yes,
Good morning. Thanks for singing.
you may be seated. Please go ahead and silence your cell phones now so that we won't be interrupted. Just put them on vibrate and prepare yourself to go within as we turn toward our opening prayer with our morning practitioner, Lori Greer.
I'm already safe. I'm already home. Let's turn within and feel into that. My eternal soul. My eternal soul is a part of the one life, the one breath that breathes and lives and expresses through all of creation. Every grain of sand on the beach, every star in the sky, every blade of grass, every atom and molecule. No end to the infinite that is giving of itself through all of its expressions. It knows no big or small, but in our minds, it is in all of it. It is in the big, it is in the small, it is in the space between. It is this energy, this consciousness of love that we call God. And it's known by many names. And so I turn my attention and my focus to that knowing of myself as a part of it. Every part of my life is an expression of God. Everything that happens to me, through me, as me, everything that is revealed, every relationship, every conversation, every experience, all that I have, all that I know, all that I see is God in expression. And as I know this for myself, I know it for each one. Each one a divine and unique expression, here to experience the joy and the vibrancy, the prosperity and the love, and the infinite good that God gives. And so knowing that we are one with that infinite source, with that wisdom, that divine intelligence that created the universes, that created all that exists, knowing that that mind is my mind, our mind. I claim and know for us that everything is happening in perfect and divine order, that there really is nothing wrong. All is well. We are blessed to know we are part of that power and that source. And so I claim for us this day is blessed and whole and holy. Already everything being revealed exactly in the way that it needs to for each one's good. And so this service today is blessed by that beautiful flow of the divine expressing itself through the music, through Reverend Mary, through every interaction, through every connection that is made here today. And so I give thanks for knowing that this is the truth. And just it is the truth here and now in this moment, in this service. It is true in every part of life, beginning and all of it together. And so I give thanks for the manifestation of more good in each life, showing up in form in the perfect way. And so I give thanks for this. And I release my word knowing that there's nothing to do but to allow for it to unfold, allow for it to be revealed. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Lori.
When my hands were emptied, when my hope was gone, I couldn't help but wonder, what had I done wrong? But even though my heart was broken, there was no need to despair, 'cause a vessel must be open to put something better there. Oh yeah. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. So forgive me when I doubt it. I admit sometimes I do. Or consider giving up, 'cause I cannot see the truth. I know I'll never go without it. Your deep and abiding love, oh love. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. And I cannot help but cry to think of understand. You needed my empty hands. So thank you for my thank you for my empty hands.
Isn't that a message we can all use sometimes? Thank you for my empty hands. Thank you for what I thought I wanted that I didn't get because something else came. Thank you for the waiting, because there's blessing in all of that. So we move into, oh my goodness, it's really pouring out there. Wow. Well, we were warm and dry, at least for most of the song. We're into 2023 right now. We're going to live out loud. We may actually even have thunder here. I don't know. This is the time of allowing ourselves to stand up and be visible and be alive. And so the month of February, we're now in a new theme, which is the magic of the soul. I'm taking that title from, I know everybody's looking out the window going, oh my God, it's pouring. I'm taking that title from the class that I'm teaching right now, that is the magic of the soul, or the journey of the soul. The magic of the soul is the name of the book. And we're on that journey. We're on that process now. So today, this is a really cute little image. Today is our hidden superpower. So for all those of you, anybody ever as a kid want to fly? Yeah. I used to jump off of furniture and watching Peter Pan, you know, and just in case, even though I didn't have any fairy dust. But this idea of a superpower within us, I think everybody has one, but also we collectively have a certain superpower that exists in all of us all the time. And this particular superpower is something that is more than the wonderful 5 senses that we've been gifted with. So we get a lot of our information about the physical world through our 5 senses, and it's a linear process. That's the way we teach and learn in Western culture. But there is a much older tradition of being with nature, being with ourselves, being with our communities in a particular way that allows us to open to another kind of knowing, another kind of learning, another kind of being, something that impels us when we're in those places to connect, to go deeper, to learn about that. And so this, beyond our 5 senses, there are 2 aspects of this that I want to talk about this morning. The first one is curiosity. Curiosity is what allows us to actually learn because we're interested, we wonder. And that wondering pulls us. So you can see little kids all the time, wondering, asking why, looking at, trying to figure it out, wanting to understand. And the other part of it, which our founder, Ernest Holmes, spoke about quite a bit, is an inner sense, an inner feeling of knowing, our intuition. It arises all the time, but only when we're attuned or wanting to can we invite it and listen to it and hear it. So the intuition may speak to us when we're not really aware of it and we still get the message, but we may not realize that that's where it came from. So we're looking at these 2 this morning. Now, when we learn stories and things as kids, we sometimes make applications of stuff that we've learned, and oftentimes those that tell us the stories in teaching, they want us to learn to generalize those lessons and apply them in our lives. So little Johnny was in Sunday school and he was learning about creation, how God created everything. And he was particularly interested in the story of how Eve was created when God took one of Adam's ribs and fashioned a woman. And so later in the week, his mother noticed him lying down as if he wasn't feeling well. And she said, "Johnny, honey, what's the matter?" He said, "I have a really bad pain in my side. I think I'm going to have a wife." Yes, application is important, even when we mistakenly do it. So we're looking at what it means to have curiosity. You know, Eleanor Roosevelt said, "I think at a child's birth, if a mother could ask a fairy godmother to endow it with the most useful gift, that gift should be curiosity." Those who are curious are the ones who go out and create the scientific discoveries. They're the ones who go out and create the artistic expressions that all of us then benefit from. But we do that too in our own right. So when we go inward to our intuition, we sometimes have to balance what we're guided toward with our curiosity with a certain amount of courage to allow ourselves to follow that intuition and curiosity. Deepak Chopra said, "Every day, our actions exist on the cutting edge of evolution, the frontier where the mind is caught between caution and curiosity." That's the frontier. We exist here, but everything that we want to know and discover and express and communicate is outside that comfort zone. All the ways in which we grow are outside that comfort zone. All the ways in which we discover gifts that we have are outside the comfort zone we're already familiar with. So we want to be able to move toward that. And we're blessed with this curiosity that keeps bugging us to find out more, whether it's, how do I make this particular kind of dish? Or how could I adapt or vary this particular kind of dish to what dance would express this experience in the world, this condition or situation, to why are there stars? And how do I get to them? Or why is the sky blue? So we are blessed with certain things that come forward automatically out of our desire to know, out of our curiosity. Science is a desire to understand, to find out more, to explain how. How does something work? How does it work with other things? Does it work by itself? Does it work with others? Does it need a whole community? How does it work? What does it do? That's the science side of it. But equally creative is the art side of it, where we want to be able to express what is within us, what we're feeling, what we're experiencing. Everybody that wrote literature or painted or sculpted or wrote a play or acted in a play or sang or wrote a song or some kind of symphony or music, every art you can think of is about expressing something from inside, some knowing, some experience, some desire that has to get out. That's the impetus of our curiosity. It wants to be expressed. Zora Neale Thurston said, "Research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose." So nosy on purpose. And Albert Einstein said, "I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious." Passionately curious. So there's the voice of the artist and the voice of the scientist. Passionately curious. It brings something forward in our experience. So when we look into our intuition, we find then that intuition gives us new ways of hearing and seeing, and new ways of knowing. So in the process of learning in a non-linear classroom kind of way, We learn by observing nature and creatures and plants and animals. We don't know that it's spring because we read it somewhere. We know it because we observe it, we experience it, we feel it. We honor that as we're experiencing it. I was just thinking the other day about when I lived in Vancouver, that this is the time of year that all of the ornamental cherry trees bloom. And there are 2 streets in Vancouver off of a main drag. There are 2 streets going off on both sides of this main drag where there are these beautiful trees planted down both sides of the street. And when they are covered with these pink blossoms, it's the most awe-inspiring thing to see. It's just incredible. And then, as the petals start to fall, the ground is covered with pink snow. It's just gorgeous. It's one of the things that I miss about the city of Vancouver. Any friends from up there that are watching this morning? Mwah. Enjoy the pink snow. So ways of learning come from our experience, our appreciation and honoring, and our practice of cooperating with those things that we experience and learn. And then there are different ways of knowing. So we all learn our times tables. We know 3 times 3 is 9. We know it not because we've so often laid out 3 rows of 3 and counted them and saw that there was 9, but because we memorized it. We don't go around laying out 11 lines of 12 or anything like that. We know it because we memorized it. But that's a different way of knowing than having a direct download and an information insight, a revelation, a non-linear felt sense of guidance or direction or support or protection. And that is something we can be awed by. So it calls forth our reverence and the desire to apply what we've learned. Now, sometimes we don't want to trust that because it is nonlinear and we don't know, or we feel like we don't know where it came from. We suspect we're making it up, right? And rather than be foolish enough to just declare something we've made up, we kind of keep it on the down low, or maybe we shove it away altogether. But that intuition sometimes is very persistent. It's persistent because we've essentially asked for it and it's been delivered to us, but from another place than our books and our mentors and teachers who are telling us information. Is this making sense so far? Okay, great. So in that, we have our experience of using art. And one of the interesting things about art is that as you do it, it begins to do itself through you. I mean, as you're engaged in it, whatever it is, it will begin to take you to what it's meant to express or be. It begins to show you itself. And this is true if you're writing something, if you're writing in your diary, if you're doing any kind of art or writing or creative expression, whatever it is, as you pursue that, it begins to download to you. And you begin to catch on to, this is where to go next, or that's what to do next. It's not a linear process. Do you know what I'm talking about? Walt Disney said, we keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity leads us down new paths. It's true, but the discoveries that you make when you're going down those new paths, they're often delivered through your intuition. There are a number of scientific discoveries that came about because somebody had a dream, and the dream gave them the answer. It wasn't a linear process that brought that about. In a speech that Steve Jobs gave, a commencement speech, he was talking about curiosity and intuition and how something that happened that he could never have foreseen its usefulness, revealed its usefulness later. He says, much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. He says, Reed College at that time, this is in Oregon, offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. And because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle, in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had any hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would never have had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. So in following the curiosity and intuition to just take that class because it was interesting, he got something that made a huge difference later on. And all of us, no matter what kind of computers we're using, are experiencing the benefit of that. We're not all using Courier anymore. So those are the blessings of curiosity. And when we look at, oops, that's not what I wanted yet, but I'll leave it there. When we look at the blessings of intuition, we see that in those ways of learning, in observing and experiencing and honoring and practicing the things that we've observed, and in those new ways of knowing that come to us in a non-linear way, we're opening up to something that is a complement to the five senses, and that the five senses complement it. Ernest Holmes once speculated that the reason that we have the five physical senses in our physical world, in our physical bodies, is because in our non-physical state, we have all those qualities. And there had to be a sensory component to allow us to experience those things in physical form as we're apparently separated into individual bodies. So there was a way of seeing, a way of hearing, a way of learning, a way of knowing, a way of feeling. I don't know about taste and smell, but all of those aspects have to exist within us at a deeper level that isn't about the five senses. And so we have these abilities. He believed that to a greater or lesser extent, we had all of the extrasensory perception possibilities within us, all of us. Some stronger than others, just like we have some talents that are stronger than others in our physical lives as well. So when we take curiosity and we take intuition and we put the two of them together, we have this amazing combination that is our superpower. Ernest Holmes said, because we fail to realize that principle, meaning the creative law, is not bound by precedent, we limit our faith to that which has already been accomplished, and few miracles result. When, through intuition, faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results follow. I mean, what scientist would expect to get the answer to something they were trying to figure out in a dream? You don't count on that kind of thing. But when they left the door open for it and did not discount it, when they took it and applied it, they discovered that what they had been given worked. Suzuki, a Buddhist teacher, says the intuitive recognition of the instant, thus reality, is the highest act of wisdom, tuning in with presence to the moment that we're in. Now, if you close your eyes for a moment, this room, you may notice, feels different when there are people in it than it does if you're in it alone. And you can all imagine that. When you're in this room with people, even, you can open your eyes now, even when everyone is completely silent, you can feel something different. There is a sense, a felt sense of us in the room together. Does this make sense? It's different than being alone. And when my son was in high school, one of the things I noticed was that when he was away at school, his energy was still in the house. But when he went away for the summer to his dad's in Washington State, it wasn't. And there was a difference in the way the house felt. If you're a parent who's shared custody and your child has come and gone, you may know what that difference feels like. It's different when you know they're going to be away longer. It's different when they come to visit in your house after they're grown and they're with you, or any other guest really, and they're with you. It's different in the house even when they're out doing stuff, because somewhere you know they're nearby. And then when they leave to go home, wherever home is, it feels different. That is not a linear thing, that feeling that you're experiencing. That is an inner feeling of knowing. So Dean Radin, who is one of the scientists at IONS, the Institute of Noetic Sciences, said, experiments testing the possibility that there may be other ways of knowing are rarely reported in psychological, neuroscience, and medical journals. By contrast, in the literature of parapsychology, the discipline that straddles those uncertain realms between physics and psychology, one finds numerous relative experiments. Based on thousands of such reports, there appears to be strong cumulative evidence in favor of unconventional ways of knowing. Now, he's using a scientific linear idea to convince us that a nonlinear way of knowing is possible. He's talking about studies and cumulative results, because we're used to not buying stuff that we don't have evidence for, in our culture anyway. And David Deutsch, who's a physicist at the University of Oxford, says, and this is a little bit mind-blowing, the quantum theory of parallel universes is not the problem. It is the solution. It is not some troublesome, optional interpretation emerging from arcane theoretical considerations. It is the explanation, the only one that is tenable, of a remarkable and counterintuitive reality. Now, clearly, you can see where his bent lies, as opposed to other theories of how the universe works, how everything fits together, and all of that. But his certainty is really interesting. Not that people who are certain can't be wrong. Certainly they can be. But there's something pushing him in that direction. So when we are pushed in that direction, when the curiosity arises, then we have what's called divine discontent. And that discontent will push us toward new discoveries and new expressions, because we feel the need for change. Something needs to break through, something needs to shift, and that divine discontent moves us toward that. And when we have a direct experience of intuition protecting us or guiding us or revealing something to us, when we have that experience, it builds our confidence, it builds our faith, it builds us in effectiveness in when we do follow our intuition, being more effective at tuning into it and following it. And finally, then, knowing without linear, rational processing. I always love Abraham Joshua Heschel's statement that, let's see if I can remember it. The search for reason ends at the shore of the known. On the vast expanse beyond it, only a sense of the ineffable can glide. In other words, the known is here, inside the comfort zone. This is where everything we know exists. But the more that we want to know, that we want to discover, that we want to be and experience, that's outside the comfort zone. So we have to have that divine discontent, and we have to have the direct experience, both, to take us forward. It's not enough to have just our five senses. We need the superpower as well. We need that curiosity and that intuition. I want to conclude with a story. This is not a long story. It's only one page. Don't panic. Now, I don't know, how many of you have ever heard of Milton Erickson? Okay, a few people. So Milton Erickson was a very famous therapist who was also a brilliant hypnotherapist. Not a hypnotist, a hypnotherapist. And he could put somebody that he was working with, some client, into a trance just by saying, "Would you be willing to?" There was a way in which he said it, a way in which he emphasized it. Now, this was a man who, I believe, had polio as a child, and he was very observant of people. And so he would make suggestions in this way that would then move them in certain directions toward what they needed or wanted. So this is one of his teaching stories. He says, "A woman came to college always holding her left hand over her mouth. She recited in class, holding her left hand under her nose, concealing her mouth. She walked out on the street with her left hand covering her mouth. She ate in restaurants, concealing her mouth behind her left hand. When she was reciting in class, walking down the street, eating in restaurants, always with the left hand over her mouth." Now that interested me. I made it a point to get acquainted with her. She told me, after much prodding, about a horrible experience she'd had when she was 10 years old. In a car accident, she'd been thrown through a windshield, a frightening experience for a 10-year-old girl. Her mouth was cut by the windshield glass, and there was a lot of blood on the hood of the car. A lot of blood that was frightening to a 10-year-old could be a very small amount of blood, but to her, it was an enormous quantity. She grew up with the idea that her mouth was terribly scarred, and that's why she kept her mouth covered, because she did not want anybody to see that horrible scar. I got her to read the history of cosmetology, and she came across beauty spots, spots that were crescent-shaped, circles, stars, and so on. She read about how a woman would place a beauty spot near a feature that she considered attractive. I induced her, now this would be in therapy in a hypnotic state, I'm assuming. I induced her to draw me some beauty spots. Then I induced her, in the privacy of her room, to make a life-size copy of her scar. It turned out to be a 5-pointed star the size of a beauty spot, and yet she still saw it as larger than her whole face. So I persuaded her to go on a date with one of the students. She was to carry 2 heavy handbags to keep her hands down from the face. And on this date, and on subsequent ones, she discovered that if she allowed a goodnight kiss, the man would invariably kiss the scarred side of her mouth. Even though she had 2 sides to her mouth, the man would always invariably kiss her on the scarred side. She dated one man, but didn't have the nerve to let him have a goodnight kiss. The second man kissed her on the right side of her mouth. So did the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. What she didn't know was that she was curious. And when she was curious, she always tipped her head to the left, so that a man had to kiss her on the right side of the mouth. What Erickson did was he created a situation in which she could begin to see and associate that scar with something beautiful and positive instead of something awful and ugly and off-putting. He did that by shifting the paradigm around that scar, by offering her a suggestion and some information that allowed her to open to an experience that could change her mind. So, we want to allow our curiosity to impel us over the boundary of our comfort zone into that unknown territory, and know that we're safe out there, because the other half of that superpower, our intuition, is with us, and it will guide us. If we allow the felt sense to take us, it will guide us where we need to go. Namaste. All right. Thank you. Let's take a moment and turn within to anchor that now. Breathing in and breathing out. The mystery of the body continues. That it breathes, that the heart beats, that the nerves operate, that the blood circulates, that the food digests, all without linear direction. So much of who we are and what we are is operating automatically in goodness out of the divine presence. I know that that divine presence is right here where I am, that everything within me is responding to it. I know that I'm a manifestation of that infinite presence, and that this is true of each one of us. We are unique emanations of the divine, and we are gifted with this wonderful curiosity and intuition. Actively now, we acknowledge them inwardly. We are grateful for everything that they have brought into our lives so far, all that they've allowed us to learn and to know, to discover and to express. And with this gratitude, we invite them to take us further, knowing that we are well prepared now to step out of our comfort zone from time to time and to learn in nonlinear ways, to discover that we know already things that we're inviting to come to us. And so with such gratitude, we open our minds, our hearts, our hands wide to receive the depths of curiosity and intuition, guiding us and lifting us and moving us forward into even greater goodness in our lives, greater understanding, healing, illumination, and presence. We do this now with deep gratitude. We let this word go into the law, knowing that the law always says yes. And therefore, we say now together, and so it is. Please stand and join me now with the morning affirmation. I dwell in curiosity, my sacred superpower, as I inquire deeply with the desire to know and grow. The mystery of the One leads me into awakening, one step at a time. I take the next step in faith now, and so it is. Yes, you may be seated. Now, I want to let you know that there are so many things for us to be grateful for at Golden Gate, and one of the things that I'm particularly grateful for today is that your generosity has done something that I think is going to be really amazing for us as a community. We have engaged a company that does social media management, which means that within the values and character of who we are, this is a new thought company, so they get us. They post things on Facebook and Instagram related to what we're emphasizing here at Golden Gate, whether it's the message or something we're getting ready to do, or some particular class or program that's coming up, or just giving wisdom out to the world, they're going to be posting these things on Facebook and Instagram for us. And as they do that, we have a simple response. I learned from them something so valuable, which is that if you respond, any of you, if you respond to something that's posted on our Facebook page, for example, a 4-word post can boost the traffic to our site on Facebook by 1,000. A 4-word post. Gee, I like this. Wow, needed this today. Thank you, so great. It doesn't take a lot of time, but each time you do that, you send out to the world Golden Gate's message. And this is something you have empowered us to do, because none of us on staff have the time or all of the expertise necessary to keep up with that. But, people don't find Golden Gate now because we're in the newspaper. That's not where they're looking for us. They're looking online. And our website will be on the bottom of every one of those posts. So thank you. You are the ones that made this possible. You are the ones that did this. So this morning, as we prepare to give our offerings, we just want to breathe in that gratitude. And if you would like to text to give this morning, you certainly can do that to the number on the screen or give through PayPal. I'm going to invite the ushers to come up now as we prepare to do our offering blessing, which is a blessing of not only the gifts we give this morning, but all the gifts that have been given through us in this past week. So we're going to give this gift, and I'm going to invite the ushers to stay up here just a little longer after this offering blessing, because this next song by Daniel Nahmad, he gives an introduction to it as like a little mini talk. And so we're going to let him talk, and as soon as he starts to sing, then go and receive the offering. So please join me now as we bless our offering, and hold it near your hearts as we say this. This gift I give is God in action. God bless you. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. So here's Daniel.
Last few years have, of course, been strange in a lot of ways, but I think one of the most interesting experiences, at least from my perspective, has been the mystery that we've all been in together. The experts in every conceivable field have been befuddled, from stock advisors to health advisors to doctors to economists to scientists to teachers to just everybody. And although there's no question that mystery, that collective not knowing, is a little unsettling. It's a little, makes us uneasy to feel like I'm not driving the bus. Wait, I thought you were driving the bus. Wait, who's driving the bus? That collective feeling. Flying blind thing can be scary and can feel disempowering, but I actually like to look at it the other way around. If there is no judge and jury, if there is no absolute expert, then yours and my superpower has an actual opportunity to emerge. We don't have to fit a box. We don't have to meet somebody's expectation. We don't have to drive in a specific direction that isn't ours to drive in, if that makes sense. We actually can write, and really are writing, our own story. Every day is a leap of faith, whether we realize we're leaping or not. Here's a song on the subject. I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering. when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. No, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy, some say naive, to close my eyes and take the leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Yeah, here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time, 'cause I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way.
So on behalf of Golden Gate, we do, all of us in this room, accept this offering. Collectively, we send it out into the world with the intention that everywhere it goes, it is delivering courage, and that courage allows people to follow their curiosity and intuition. And so it is. If you're here for the first time, please check out the table at the back here on this side. Galen is waving the welcome packet. There's a blue card in the welcome packet. Pull that out, and if you fill it out and give it to her, we're going to give you a little book as a thank you gift for being here with us today that will also be your invitation to come back. And that little book is, we've found, very useful to carry around with you in your purse or in your pocket, and have it available at moments when you need to be reminded that there is an inner knowing that you do have. Thank you for being here. We hope that we'll see you often in the future. And we also want to say thank you, of course, to everybody who came in early this morning and made sure everything was ready to go, looked wonderful, felt beautiful, and there was food and coffee. Leslie Giannetti did this beautiful altar this morning. And I heard Anne, who's also at the practitioner table this morning, asking her, oh, is the theme light this morning? Yes, the theme is always light with Leslie, and it's fabulous. So We want to thank, let's give everybody a hand who's helped out this morning. And if your birthday is this month, please stand. We're going to sing you happy birthday. Oh, you made, and you too, Galen? You too, Galen? All right, and Selma, okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear February. Happy birthday to you. I want to remind you that this Thursday is the Extra Edge on Zoom with Reverend Sarah from 8 to 9:30. And you can find the Zoom link on our calendar on our website under the Classes and Events tab. And what's the theme this month, Sarah? Open to discussion. So a lot of interesting things can show up in that conversation. That is Thursday morning, 8 to 9:30. Gives you a good boost for your day. Check that out. Also, next Sunday is going to be Valentine's Sunday. If you are in a committed couple relationship and you'd like to renew your vows, please sign up at the back table back here so that I know how many people I'm providing stuff for. And also, if you are a single and you want to participate in the letting go and letting in ritual next week, also put your name on that. And there's a place to mark single or couple. Just fill that in. That way I'll know how many whatever to bring for you guys. So we're going to do those two things next week. We're going to save our memorial part of it to do at Memorial Day, that weekend. So next week is about the loving heart and radiating love out to the world, no matter what kind of experience we're in. Also next Sunday is the men's brunch. Yay! We love our men. They do a fabulous brunch. It's only $10. It's going to be right away after the service next week. And the proceeds after expenses are paid go to Golden Gate. So this is a win-win-win. And the guys do everything, and it's wonderful. So come, bring your appetite, be prepared to have a nice brunch. Don't be too hungry, because I wouldn't want a chorus of growling tummies during the talk. But do come and be prepared to enjoy that. And also, I want to bring Leslie up from the practitioner table. Leslie's first workshop went so well, and the second one is coming up February 26th. Step on up here.
Hello, dear ones. So the next workshop is Life Never Begins and Life Never Ends. And this time we're going to have a guided meditation. So I do recommend a writing implement and paper. And what we're going to talk about is we're infinite right now. And what does that mean? I invite your curiosity. I invite your questions. And we're going to go as deep as you want to go. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Leslie.
You don't need this.
All right. That workshop is Love Offering. It's going to be actually physically at our learning center in San Rafael. I believe there are some maps on the table back there. And it's from 1 to 3 on Sunday, February 26th. As you know, 2023 is our 40th anniversary year. We're going to have a big celebration on Easter with Reverend Carol and Reverend Lloyd. No, not on Zoom. They're actually going to be here with me. Carol and I are going to do a ritual that morning, and all of us are going to do part of the Easter Sunday talk, and we're going to have music, and it'll be fabulous. So we want you to come and bring your friends and tell everybody that ever came to Golden Gate for any reason, even if somebody dragged them here, to come back on Easter, because the theme is there's no place like home. So if you know people that were kids in the teen group or the youth church, invite them to come back. We love to welcome back as many as we can. Please send me your stories of your memories of the early years or your earliest years at Golden Gate, because we want to share some of those stories and pictures. We like to have pictures of people who were here at that time. So send them to me or bring them to me, in an envelope with your name on it or something. I'll scan them and bring them back to you. But we're preparing that now, so it's not going to be too soon. We've only got a couple of months. My God. Wednesday night, I just want to remind you, Wednesday night we have a meditation online on Zoom every night, starting at every Wednesday night, not every night, starting at 7:15. And this coming Wednesday is the second Wednesday of the month, and so it will be our Today service. So it starts at 7:15. Once again, you can find the link to that event if you go to our online calendar, click the event, it'll take you to the event page and you can find the link. All right. Now, prayer. We really believe in prayer here. It's one thing we can certainly say that we do and count on and believe in. And so there are many ways you can request prayer of our licensed practitioners, as well as doing it for yourself. One is to put a request in the prayer box over here on the table anytime on Sundays. That'll be prayed over for a full week. Another way is to go online and request one on the website. Under resources, you'll find the tab for requesting that. You can also send an email to the office, or you can call and leave a message at the office. But the quickest way to get a prayer, now listen carefully, is to go to the prayer table after the service and let one of these wonderful practitioners gift you with the prayer. Because although they do private sessions that are paid appointments, they do free brief prayers on Sunday. So please take advantage of this gift. And Leslie and Amby, most happy to help you. I'm going to invite the ushers now to surround the room. Yeah, the practitioners. I interchange those two, and they sound nothing alike, and they have completely different jobs. But you know, the ones in the white stoles are our licensed practitioners, and you can talk to any of them about what it means to be a practitioner, what they did to become a licensed practitioner. And, however, the ones that are on duty for prayer this morning are the two over at the table, and you can go over there to get their support. So we're going to do a chamber of prayer this morning, which means we're going to enfold you in an ocean of prayer. And rather than trying to tune into anybody's prayer in particular, just let it wash over you and take it in. So we begin. Right here and right now. And so it is. I invite you to stand and join us now for the benediction and the closing song. We say this benediction in unison every week. I now walk, so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. You know this one.
All right, one more song. You're invited to sing this one with me. And really quickly, you're invited always to join me on Monday nights at 6 o'clock. I do a live show on my Facebook page, Daniel Nahmod USA. Just go to videos, Daniel Nahmod USA. And at 6 o'clock, I go live California time every Monday night. And frankly, if you felt like taking a week off of work and binge watching about 300 or 400 of these shows, you're welcome to do it. I don't recommend it, but you're invited. And the price is right. It's free. So I hope you are feeling well and taking care of yourself. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and hope to see you again either on this little screen or even better in person someday soon. Here we go, a song called Love Is My Decision. Please do sing. Love is my
decision. It's
up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to stand on that bridge, to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive, can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now, right here and now. One more time, here we go. Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to dance down that road, to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load, can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. Thank you again.